Welcome to the Hard Water Fishing Show. Jeff and Jason talk tactics, gear, and ice fishing legends.
We are out live at the Hard Water Fishing Show. It's season 4, episode 6 already, and I haven't even wet a line yet. It's the second week of December 2020. So the ice is forming, and we're getting closer, at least in Iowa, to having some opportunities to fish. We have an awesome topic tonight. We have Northwoods singing legend Charlie Darmer on with us on the show tonight. And I tell you what, you guys are really going to enjoy Charlie. This guy can catch fish and sing. And I think Jeff's got a huge man crush on him, but that remains to be seen. No, you probably want to edit.
He can catch fish and sing. I'm not sure if I can do either one of those things very well. So
I know. Yeah.
I know I can't sing. That is a guarantee.
Yeah. I really enjoyed having him on. Well, and we'll hear more from him later on in the show. So,
and our first like in-show song being played.
Yeah, a little teaser there. What are you drinking tonight, Jeff?
Oh, I got a good one tonight, Jay. I do. War Pigs, Foggy Geezer.
Where do you find this stuff? You're in the middle of a lockdown up there, and you find the craziest beer.
Hazy India Pale Ale.
Carpet.
A super fruity and dank War Pigs Hazy IPA forged in collaboration between Three Floyds and Mickler. Warpigs.com.
You're drinking something that says dank?
Yep. It says Foggy Geezer. I mean, you can't make that up.
No, it's like, is it a reflective can?
No,
you can't
it's
see
not.
yourself
But
in the can?
No, it's black. Maybe you're foggy after you drink it, but right now I don't feel too foggy.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
Okay.
So, Jay, what do you got tonight?
Well, I'm still trying to not drink normal beers, and this is not as much of a stretch as normal because I'm tired of drinking carpet. And so I picked up a small can of Heineken Original tonight.
Got the Heine.
Heine. Yeah.
How big is that can? Is that like a mini keg?
Well, it's what they had at the local Casey's. It seems to be it's 24 ounces. So I better get to work. All right. I think I've had one of these years ago. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
I think you have to use both hands to lift that beer. It's so big.
I'm a professional.
So mine is good. I think you might say it tastes like carpet. I think it tastes
Is it
good,
hoppy?
So I'm enjoying it. It's hoppy.
I could not do another India Pale Ale tonight.
It might be a little dank.
Little dank hoppy. Yeah, I'm all over that. Good Lord. Good. Hit us with show business, Jeff.
Patron, not Patron. Great way to support the show. We have a new patron this week, and he is known as Northern Angler. So we will get some stickers over to him as soon as we can, and we really appreciate the support for the show. So, he's joining our other patrons, and so we really appreciate the support. It helps pay for some of the costs of running the show. So thank you. And we can get some gear. I posted a picture. I got a new sweatshirt. So there's gear out there. It's been on sale here and there. The site we use is called Redbubble, and they'll do 20 to 60% off certain things. They've run the sale a couple times. So watch for that. They run some sales before the holidays here. And I had to get a new sweatshirt because I had an incident with my sweatshirt this summer, Jay.
You had an incident?
I did. So I was out fishing, not winter fishing, but summer fishing, right? And we were going across the lake, And I don't have a big fast boat. It's a 40 horse outboard, right? With just a tiller. I really enjoy it, but we're not going 60 miles an hour with a 250 on the back, right? So I got kind of warm because it was a spring day, and I took my sweatshirt off and I tucked it underneath my seat, like just a pedestal seat kind of in the corner. I'm like, it'll be fine. No problem. So I get back, we cruise across the lake, I load the boat up, and I'm like, ooh, I can use my sweatshirt now.
It's gone.
Where did the sweatshirt go?
Somewhere there's a walleye on Mille Lacs wearing a hard water fishing show sweatshirt.
It actually was not on Mille Lacs. This was on a different lake.
Oh, I thought you only ever fished Mille Lacs.
No, this was a local lake. We didn't catch anything, or it was kind of rough fishing, and it was like that early springtime where the ice is out, but it's still kind of cold, and the fish haven't really decided to bite
really
again.
Sluggish yet.
Yeah. So anyway, I got a new sweatshirt, and I have socks coming, so I'm excited to get those socks. Hardwater Show socks.
I need to order some of those, to be honest. I just start wearing them to work.
Yep, I've got them on the way, but it takes a little bit, so I'll have them before Christmas.
Very cool. Yeah, if you're going to get orders in, and I would say, like, I have a number of things from that site myself that I've ordered. And it's actually, I find it sized a little small, so I would upsize size-wise. I don't know if you've found that. But the shirts are really soft. I mean, it's decent stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that I have to upsize another size now this year. I think I've added a few LBs.
If I had any more, even based on their sizing, I'm going to have to split them down the back and sew a piece of material in.
I hope if that time I might have to go on a diet, but I don't know. All right, so you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, or primarily where we're at. And we also have our website, hardwatershow.com, where you can find all of the episodes. We have a YouTube page where you can find all of our videos, such as Northwoods Dave checking out his Spud Bar versus Ice Chisel, or the show. Jason, have you been to YouTube yet?
Nope.
All right, just making sure. So beat Jason there. And you can email us, hardwatershow@gmail.com. So that's another great way to get a hold of us. And we do read everything, even if it doesn't make the show, but we do read it all and get back to you guys as soon as we can. So thank you for supporting the show and listening.
We really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. We are just always excited that people want to listen to us.
Because our wives don't. Well, your wife will listen to the show, but she can always mute you or turn you off.
That's right. Yeah, she has that power of the pause and stop button.
World would be a little bit better if you could just pause people. Like, that has been one of the beauties of doing most work by Zoom and virtual meetings, is you can mute yourself and have your own level of commentary while they're talking, or you can just mute them and smile. But not that I would ever do that, but
yes,
it gives you more control than just walking out of a meeting. You don't have to explain yourself.
Right.
So on to reader news. So I want to talk about this Northwest Angle Ice Road, Jeff, and I just think this is both a tremendously awesome idea and a tremendously maybe terrible idea all at the same time. What do you think? Well, why don't you explain for our listeners kind of what this is for people outside the area?
The Northwest Angle is this little piece of land that I think was a mistake actually by map makers back in the, I don't know, long time ago. But if you look at the state of Minnesota, there's this little piece that is in Lake of the Woods that actually is part of the United States, but is not connected by land to the United States. So like you have to drive through Canada to get to the Northwest Angle. You're in the United States, but to get there by land, by car, you have to drive through Canada to get to the Northwest Angle. Or you can get there by boat. But it's a long ride. I want to say it was like 15 miles or 10 miles. So if you left the closest place on the United States, you'd take a 10 or 15 mile boat ride across the lake to get to the Northwest Angle.
10 or 15.
So the challenge here...
Yeah,
15 miles, yeah. And so the challenge is the Canadian border is closed. You can't really get there. And there's a bunch of resorts on the Northwest Angle because it's a great fishing spot. It's a great place to stay. So, normally you just drive through Canada and go around and you'd be staying in the United States, but you have to pass through Canada. This year, because these resorts have been locked out since March, right? So they haven't had any business since March because it's pretty hard to get to it. So this winter, they are planning an ice road. Like I think about like ice road truckers kind of ice road.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
And so they're going to stake a road from the U.S. all the way over to the Northwest Angle. And they have to, I read about it, and they have to you can't just go straight across, right? Because you're still going to go into Canada. So the road has to follow the right direction so you don't get into Canada. And I think it goes over like a piece of land to get there. And they said there's no wheelhouses, but it'll allow the resorts to be open and people to get access to that fishing destination.
So you can't
really
take a wheelhouse up there.
In the article I read, Outdoor News was where I got the information from. It said they are not planning on letting wheelhouses because I think it's a really long
Are they going to let you just drive your car, though?
Yes. I think they said like
your truck. We should do this.
Yeah.
This could be our lark. Can we make it on a weekend from my house to the tip of the Northwest Angle, fish Saturday, and then bomb home?
Probably. I mean, if I think about it, like the Woods Drive from my house, it's 7 hours?
Yeah.
So another, 6 hours to your house?
Yeah, so it's 4 tanks of gas, 5 tanks of gas in the Suburban.
Luckily, gas is cheap.
Gas is cheap, and the Burb, it's got like a 28-gallon tank.
It's a small tanker in itself.
We should do this. I think this should be our... We can throw my clam in the back of the Burb, and we could head out. All right. If people think this should be our lark this year, let us know. Send us an email. Let us know that
you can feel free to fund it too if you want to send donations.
I don't know. I have a hard time begging for money.
It'll be fun though, and to say you went on like a 15-mile ice road.
We should do this.
They did say it was a significant cost to put this out there.
Yeah, I think it was going to be $100 or so to use the road. But we could do this. All right, I'm jazzed about this. I'm glad you talked about this. We're going to have to find it.
And it's a 1 year only, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this won't happen
Well,
again.
I don't know. You'd never know.
So this also made me think about the ice in general this year, Jay, and it's pretty slow.
It is down south. We've got there's some crazy people doing some crazy things. Clear Lake has about 2.5 inches to 3 inches on Clear Lake up in northern Iowa. But they've got they got the old goose holes going open yet, where the geese try to keep the water open. And so you got, that skims over some of that stuff. So they're not recommending people generally go out. There's some people that are going out, but it's pretty sketch.
Where I am in Minnesota, I haven't seen fishable ice. Not to say somebody might not think it's fishable, but some of my early spots, like I'm in Minnetonka, I don't think are ready yet. But this weekend I am going with Northwoods Dave, so I will be up fishing with Northwoods Dave, which is pretty far north. And so we'll be up there chasing some crappies around.
So I'm going to call you guys at like 4 a.m. and see if you're up fishing yet. And then I'm going to call you at like 11 and see if you're going out for the night bite or if you got your arms tucked into your pillows already.
Yeah. I'm guessing it'll be like the night bite is usually what we hit. So
yeah. So you want me to call you in the morning and just help you get up?
You can call me. I'll be on Do Not Disturb.
So I also was looking, sounds like north central Wisconsin has also got some ice going. I know Max from Hardwater Freaks had posted some stuff. He was out hitting the crappies and was catching some nice fish on undisclosed lakes. But he, they were finding 4 to 6 inches depending on where they were going on some of those smaller lakes. So, but they're talking a big storm coming through this weekend, this end of the week and weekend. So we'll see what happens with the ice.
And, Red is probably the spot right now. I mean, that's no secret. Lots of ice fishing going on in Red. Lots of success with walleyes. So if you're looking for walleyes and have the time to drive to Red, it's a great place to be. You'll have lots of friends.
Yeah, bring your patience and your sense of... it's good to see people again because you're going to see them.
So, Jason, we had another question from Josh S. from Facebook. He was asking about the best all-around ice jig color. So I know we always have our go-to one. So what's your kind of go-to, just any kind of lake, you're new to it, what's the color you're going to pull out of your tackle box?
So for walleyes, I'm probably starting with like a chartreuse almost, and or copper or silver, I guess would be my go-to. Up on Lake of the Woods lately, we've been using a lot of that kind of that red, but usually it's like there's a double color to it, right? It's red or yellow or chartreuse and silver or copper on the back. It seems like that double color oftentimes is the ticket versus a solid color, some with a little flash maybe. But I think always kind of that yellowish chartreuse color. What do they call it? Like in the Northland buckshot, it's like the glow perch kind of color. Is that
glow perch? Oh yeah,
type color.
glow
You know
perch.
what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That's the color I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then for panfish, I really tend to start anymore with the Wonder Bread pattern. It's kind of been where I've been at lately. Northerns, probably hot dogs, fun dogs.
Fun dogs. Is that a color?
Color.
Is fun dog a
Taupe.
color? Taupe. Taupe.
Is that what taupe is? Isn't that a hot dog color?
Fun dog.
Am I doing that right? It's about
Yeah.
we have a friend that always says I only have an 8 box of crayons, and I love that saying because that's about all I have for colors.
Yeah. Well, so out of your 8 colors, I think glow perch is also probably my first one I'm going to pull out of there, right? I'm like you, buckshot, glow perch is probably my first thing I'm throwing down the hole on any given lake. If it's a really clear lake, maybe something a little different, but I would go glow perch. And then for walleyes, for crappies, I usually go white sometimes. I like white, like a white jig or a white spoon with some flash on the back, not a rattle one, but just a white spoon.
Well, you're always talking about the frosty spoon.
Yep, that's it. The white frosty spoon,
That's it.
Go-to
That's
for
your deal.
crappies. I got like 10 of them in my tackle box. So I know that's kind of saying the same thing I always say, but those are my go-tos. They just are.
Well, I think everybody, I think you have that kind of, I'm going to start here and see where it takes me. You always start kind of with that favorite pattern.
Now, if it doesn't work, I'll go to the tackle box, right? I'll try any color I can. Like you said, red. Mm-hmm. Reds have been pretty popular lately. All right. So Ryan J. from Facebook asked about, do you guys have a set ice fishing playlist while you're out? And this is really kind of key to our show today. So I would say Jason and I's taste in music is a bit different.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with it being different.
How would you describe your taste? What do you call that music that's like rap and
hillbilly country, hillbilly rap, rock stuff?
Yeah,
country rock. I don't know what they call it, but I have a pretty eclectic taste in music. I probably trend more country than anything else, though. Jamie Johnson, Chris Stapleton. I listen to a lot of them. The Lax. It kind of depends on my mood. If I'm feeling kind of dark, then you can get into some of the other stuff.
So I would say I trend country also, but I listen to most anything. But yeah, I would trend country, but I'll listen to some pop, some, I like some good Guns N' Roses. I don't know.
Celine Dion. I know you've mentioned you listen to a lot of
Celine Dion. There's no Celine Dion.
It's okay. You can admit that. That's cool. She's pretty cool.
No, I would say even though I might have a wide variety, when I'm fishing, country music seems to fit the best for me. It's mellow and has a story.
So the other question he asked is favorite Bluetooth speaker. So I don't know. I was kind of thinking about that question. I tend to use, if I'm going to play something out in the ice, I like to use like headphones, especially if I'm by myself or I don't know. I kind of grew up with that. You try to be quiet as possible, even on the ice. I know that some people jam tunes and it doesn't seem to affect the fish. Maybe affects their neighbors a bit. But, I would always say that we should try to be courteous of our fellow anglers out on the ice. They may not appreciate the Moonshine Bandits or Colt Ford all the time. So, headphones maybe are a good idea or a reasonable volume so you don't scare the fish.
I have Bluetooth in my wheelhouse, so I will listen to the country music over the speakers and that sometimes.
It's a different deal.
But when I'm out in the ice, I tend to just bring my phone. I don't know. I try to keep it pretty simple. If I'm not in the wheelhouse, I'm being portable. A speaker is just another thing to kind of drag through, so I'll just use my phone and put some tunes on the phone. The speaker's good enough for listening into your shack. So.
And don't stand up with it to hook a fish while it's on your lap, right?
Yeah, then it goes down the hole. Yep, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So don't do that. So put it in one of those pouches on the side. I actually have a lanyard that goes around my neck that you can put your phone in that's waterproof, so that you don't lose your phone down the hole.
There you go. That's a good plan.
It does happen.
Good plan.
Yeah. Doomsday. I should say one more thing about listening. Of course, I would listen to Charlie Darmer.
Absolutely.
Ice fishing.
Yeah.
Music is a must.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, drilling holes. All right. So another reader sent in a picture of Doomsday Fishing on Facebook. Sent us a picture. His license plate is HRDH2O. So hard water.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was cool. Put that out on the Instagram and Facebook pages.
And see, that's a different state from which I live. I wonder if I should just steal that and get a personalized plate of my own. I wonder how he'd feel about that if I ripped off his license plate.
Yeah, I'd like it. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. We could have the same one, Jason, because you're in Iowa and I'm in Minnesota.
Wow. We could wear matching shirts.
Okay, that's too far.
I knew. Take it, and I just had to make it a little uncomfortable, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, you'd have a Chevy and I'd have a Ford, and it'd be weird.
Yeah, always, because I'll never drive a Ford unless I have to.
That's another show. The last update, I was supposed to get out in the ice last weekend for the first time. Unfortunately, life got in the way and I had to work. And Jason, you were out deer hunting, right?
Yep, we had Iowa shotgun season.
So I will be, like I said before, up with Northwoods Dave. We'll be ice fishing and getting out on the ice for the first time this weekend. So super excited about that because it seems like it's been a long time. And this is pretty late. Last year we were out the first week in November and it's the second week of December and we still haven't been out yet. So
I've got the itch so bad to go out there and go fishing. Killing me.
But really, like in Minnesota, like last weekend was really the first weekend anybody was out. I mean, it's not like we've been not going. It's just the ice is not, it's so slow.
It's going to get better.
Yep. All right. So moving on to gear, Jay.
So I bought the Flame King propane refill setup.
Oh, yeah. So that's an awesome idea.
Some people talk about that it's kind of a waste of money. Because you can get just the valve for the tank and refill your refillable, your non-refillable ones, the little green ones.
Yep.
And so I've been doing that, and I've had mixed success with that. I've had some situations where the valves have stuck. I've had some situations where they don't refill quite well. So to do them efficiently, the green ones, to refill the non-refillables. And disclaimer, don't try this at home. I don't recommend it. I'm just going to tell you what I did, and I'm not going to do any longer. Because if you blow yourself up, I don't want it to be my fault. So, so two things. I've had two problems with doing that. So one thing is, so you screw the bottle on, you have your propane tank upside down like on the workbench, right? And so you screw the green tank on, you open the valve, it fills your green tank. So then you shut the valve off, you take the green tank off, and you weigh it and make sure you're right about 2 pounds. You don't want to go anywhere over 2 pounds. And to really get that tank to fill well, you got to put them in the freezer, the little tanks in the freezer, get them super cold, and then they fill up really nice. But here's where my attention span causes problems, is you screw the green tank on, you fill it up, and then you're kind of in a rhythm. So then you unscrew the green tank, but you didn't shut the valve on the propane tank. So as soon as you unscrew the green tank, the propane comes shooting out of the other valve. Right. So when you're doing that in the garage with the wood burner going, then you got to open the garage door to air it out so you don't blow up. There's some technical issues for me with that process. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this other thing. So I bought this Flame King refill thing. It has a nice little stand and it comes with a little squeeze valve. A little, like a little valve you push down on it, lever, and it puts propane in the tank. So the nice thing about these little green bottles, the Flame King green bottles, is they have a little set screw on the side. You open the set screw and it bleeds the air out, and then you push. You don't have to take them you don't have to freeze them first, right? Because they have the air relief valve. So propane is a liquid. It doesn't come out that little relief valve. So you open the relief valve, you put the propane in. As the propane fills up, it pushes the air out through the relief valve on the side, and you just wait there with a little set screw, and as soon as a little propane squirts out, you close the set screw. And since it has the little handle on it, as soon as you let go of the handle, it stops spitting propane into the bottle, so I don't forget and blow myself up. So the refill tanks, I found them at Menards. They're $13 a 1-pounder for the tank.
Oh.
And so then those can be refilled hundreds and hundreds of times. They're also DOT legal for transport. Not that you're probably ever going to get, to problem.
Right.
But the other advantage of the little green tank, the Flame King tank, is you cannot overfill them if you follow the process. The other ones, you can get them. I had one I got forgetful on, and I got it up to like 2.5 pounds. I had 8 ounces more propane in that green, almost 8 ounces, not quite, but almost 8 ounces more propane in that green bottle than I should have. So then, I had to depress the valve and let it sit outside and blow out some propane. So, I mean, some people, like meticulous people, probably can do the other process. This is better for people like me.
So did you buy like 2 of them then, or 4 of them, or what?
I bought enough.
Okay.
No, I have 6 now. I have 6 green bottles.
Like you just put your arm out as you walk down the aisle and just put them all
No,
in
I
your
went
cart.
to Menards. Menards online had the best price. They were like $18 anywhere else online. Menards had them on their online, and I could pick up at the store. They were $13 a piece. So I picked up 5. I already had one that came with the kit. I got 6, so I can have 1 in my auger, 1 in my heater, and I can have 4 backups. And I figure that'll get me through.
And I actually like those because I really use the 1-pounders a lot, but the waste also, right? Throwing those, such a waste.
Not that I would, but I've heard of people sneaking them into their garbage, which you're not supposed to. I don't know what you're supposed to do with them. Nobody really knows. They say just don't throw them away. I
had 2 gear things I wanted to cover. So the first thing is about, I was reading about Suffix Advanced Mono, which is mono, but it's supposed to have less stretch and low memory, which mono kind of already has, at least compared to fluoro. And it has 50% less UV light absorption, which I think means it's a little harder to see in the light under the water. So it still floats unlike fluoro, which will sink, but I might try that because I don't know. I like my mono. I think I'm used to mono. It works. So might try that out. We're still working on Project Helix 7. So I have everything hooked up. I just got to get 2 small connectors for electrical, and I will be ready to try out the Helix 7 this weekend on the ice. So
that has been quite a project.
It wasn't supposed to be, but it just turned into one.
Okay.
I'm sure more handy people would be quicker at it, but I'll take a picture of it and put it out there and all the pieces and parts that I had to get to kind of make it all work. Yeah,
so we have Charlie Darmer coming up. So I just want to set the stage a little bit for Charlie. So Jeff originally told me, he said, hey, I got this singer guy I want to have on the show. And I'm like, great. I'm not really sure what this has to do with ice fishing. He's like, well, he sings ice fishing songs. And I'm like, so in my head, I'm envisioning this 20-something dude. I don't know why I'm envisioning this, but like with tight jeans. So then I'm like getting ready for this. We're going to be doing this interview with Charlie. And so I check him out on YouTube. And although I didn't go to our YouTube site, but I do go to other YouTube sites. He's like the real deal. This guy can catch fish. He can sing songs. He fishes up in the Lake of the Woods region and just catches some crazy sized fish. So I think you're really going to enjoy the interview.
So today on the Hardwater Fishing Show, we have Charlie Darmer, who is the creator of this CD that just came out, Drilling Holes. So welcome to the show, Charlie.
Hello.
Great to have you on. I am super excited about this interview.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it.
We saw on social media out there, or I saw you had some pictures of fishing last weekend. I have not been out yet, but we're hoping we could get a fishing report from you first.
Yeah, we went up to Red Lake, me and the girlfriend over Thanksgiving there, and we got out of Bear Paw Resort, and we had a good 7.5 inches of ice.
Wow.
And we got all the way out to 10 feet of water, which is, pretty deep for Red Lake, Upper Red,
Yep.
We had really good fishing on Thursday. We caught, I would say, about 30 fish. I put together a little video of, her catching one after another. She was trying to eat an apple, and by the fourth fish, the apple fell in the hole, and then we were just catching them left and right after that for a while. But no, it was good fishing. There was flurries, and I think if you've read any of the reports, there's flurries. 3-4 fish come through, and then it's slow for a while, and you might pick up one here and there. What I found out, and what actually works really good for me on Mille Lacs too, for catching walleyes, is to lay your live minnow right in the dirt, right on the bottom. Like during slow periods of the day, it seems like fish are real lethargic, and walleyes are bottom feeders, so they don't want to come up, it seems like, and eat. But they will eat it right on the bottom, and I don't know if that's just an easy meal and it looks like a dying minnow kicking up silt and stuff like that. But there was periods during the day when that was the only thing that was biting, is laying the minnow right in the dirt.
Jeff, you should be writing this down.
I know. No, it's going right to memory. I'm going to get up there. I haven't yet. Maybe this weekend I'll get up there. So
you and everybody else, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. It's a popular spot right now for sure. Yeah. And it's just walking out there then, right on 7 inches. There are no wheelers or anything like that out there. I
would be comfortable with it, but the resorts are not allowing it at this time.
Got it. Well, awesome. This is the first time this season. This is our first actual fishing report. So
it is.
It's pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it was great. And actually, I got up to Lake of the Woods too, at 4 Mile Bay.
Wow.
You're killing me.
You're putting us to shame.
It was fun. There was less ice there, 4 solid inches of nice ice, But, we caught a couple fish out of the river, too.
If this winter, if you're bored, which you're probably not, but we could start doing a segment, a fishing report with Charlie, and you could sing the whole thing.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. Awesome.
We'll have to experiment with that maybe this year if you're game. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We would definitely be the most unique podcast, ice fishing podcast on the planet, for sure, if we had a singing fishing report.
The singing report with Charlie Darmer.
With Charlie, yeah.
I like it. I know if I sang, people would just run away.
They'll turn it off, delete.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Yes, they'd be like, done, turn it off. One of the questions we usually ask our guests, too, is what your favorite fish is to catch and how to fish for them. We kind of covered that, but maybe you want to talk about that a little bit more, about what species you like to target the most.
And that's the walleye. I'm addicted to them. I've written songs about it. You know what I mean? Tug is the drug.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's on the album. I love walleye fishing. I love crappie fishing, too. That's always such a fun bite when you get them to raise. But the main target species for me is definitely a walleye. And how I like to target them on Mille Lacs with a 3-4 inch sucker minnow, a small sucker minnow, a treble hook. I actually found some smaller brass beads, which kind of acts as like a weight. I'll put two brass beads and then a really small spinner blade. And so when the minnow's down there kicking, and actually one thing I forgot to mention is I cut the tails off the minnows. And that works really good for lethargic fish that are not active. Cutting that tail off. If you've ever seen, I got Panoptix Live Scope. Amazing. Absolutely buy it now. Sell your house, buy a Live Scope. It's amazing. I love it. I've caught way more fish with the Live Scope, and you can see so much more. So when that minnow is down there swimming and a fish comes in, you can see the fins on the walleyes. It's amazing. Wow. And you can watch that minnow get scared and swim up and around the split shot. So if you have a really aggressive bite, you'll probably catch fish like that, with aggressive bite when the minnow is really freaking out. But if you clip his tail, he's going to freak out, but he's not going to go very far. And then that walleye is going to eat him because it's easy.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm using that this year for sure.
As we were getting ready for this, I was listening to some of your music on YouTube, And so when Jeff, and I just full disclosure, when Jeff first lined this up, I'm like, what the heck does a guy that was this musician going to know about fishing? And then I looked at some of your YouTube videos and saw these pictures of these fish. And I'm like, okay, apparently he knows something about fishing. This is great. And so stuff like this just confirms that you're the real deal. You are not, as they say in the music business, a poser, right? You are legit.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I love it. I love fishing, singing about it, and I'm trying to, with the album, I tried to give you guys something that you could relate to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all my friends cut holes in ice. That's one of the lyrics in one of the songs. It's like, all my buddies are ice fishermen, and I'm really good friends with the bait store up on the Lake of the Woods, Steve's Lucky Bait. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Steve passed away this spring in a motorcycle accident.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, being in the store and seeing all the customers come in and everybody's all in a good mood and slinging bait, scooping minnows and talking fishing. That's where I love to be.
So I haven't listened to all your music yet, but so far, my favorite so far is the ice rap. But I'm kind of into hillbilly country rock rap stuff right now. So that kind of fits into my current musical selection very well.
I haven't really said this too much to too many people, but I am going to do a more of a rap album eventually here. I don't know when. But.
Wow, that's a big difference from Drilling Holes, because Drilling Holes is pretty country, right? With that's how you.
But I've always enjoyed the hip hop. I've written hip hop songs, and I look back at it and I just shake my head in embarrassment and turn it off. It's kind of silly, but I think the ice rap song turned out all right. And it's like I said, it's something that you guys can relate to too. Nobody else does it.
Well, you have that, there is that, and I don't know what direction you'll take that album or that music, but you have like Colt Ford and kind of that whole crew, the dirt rock guys that kind of do that mix of the country and the rap and the hip hop. It's kind of all that mashed together. So there's definitely a genre out there that's similar to that. So.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, definitely.
I probably lost Jeff on the hillbilly rock rap stuff.
Yeah, I've listened.
I've made him listen to it before.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I will admit though, I do really like Drilling Holes. I mean, the country is kind of more my genre, and I've listened to it quite a bit. I think, gosh, I don't know. There's a lot of good songs on there. Charlie, can you talk a little bit more about how Drilling Holes came to be? I know when you've talked about this before, it was a long journey, is what you said.
It seems like whenever we try to do something, we have to get screwed once or twice along the way, right? And I definitely got screwed a couple times. Once pretty bad, and another time not too bad. But so how Drilling Holes came to be is I was sitting there one time, and I was listening to The Rodeo by Garth Brooks, and I heard it in my head, Drilling Holes instead of rodeo. It all kind of rhymed. And I sat down with a pen and a paper, and I went over the whole lyrics in the song, and I changed them from rodeo to be about ice fishing. Mm-hmm. And I sang that song in front of people for 5 years, I bet. And it always goes over really well because, who I'm playing it in front of is normally around a lake. I named the album Drilling Holes and based it basically around that song because I knew people would know the song by Garth Brooks, The Rodeo, and be like, oh, well, this is Drilling Holes about ice fishing instead of rodeo. That's the way I went with it.
You did a live concert on YouTube. I don't know, it was maybe a month ago or can't remember, a little while ago. And you mentioned that you had to send Garth Brooks a check or something, right, for using his song.
And licensing, yeah.
Licensing $48 or was it something like that?
Yep.
That seems like a fair bargain.
You gotta pay licensing fees for stuff, right? And so somewhere out there, Garth Brooks has 48 of my dollars. I wonder what he's doing now.
I wonder what he's doing with all that money.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't spend it all in one place. Maybe he will, though. I don't know.
How long you been performing music, Charlie?
So performing, I don't really do shows, and this was this was my big thing that I have the album done. I'm like, all right, we're going to go play some shows. We're going to go sing this song and sell some CDs. Well, COVID, it's not happening. I've done some live, open mic nights and got comfortable being in front of crowds. And I love that. Oh, I love being in front of crowds. Jeff, I had such a blast with you guys. Oh, I think about that often. It's just like, I wish I want to do more of that.
Oh, it was awesome. I loved when we had at the Red Door. We had a great time. I was very surprised because I didn't even know going into that we were having anything but like kind of dinner or something. And when you were there, I'm like, oh, this could be cool. And then you started singing about ice fishing, and I'm like, holy cow, I've never heard anybody sing about ice fishing before. And it's really good, and everybody had a great time. So it was fun.
I'm doing the Ice Junkie Outdoors. They're having a get together January 30th out in Siren, Wisconsin. I'm going to be doing my songs out there, hanging out with them guys then, and hopefully more before that. So we'll see.
Did you want to play a song, or do you think it's?
No, I'll play a song and just see how it turns out.
Anyone you want to play particular, or?
I think I'll go with Northern Countryman.
Oh, I was just listening to that. I like that. I was kind of listening to the CD to get in the mood and I really like that one. So
yeah, I'll go sing Northern Countryman.
Sweet. This is a podcast first to have music on.
I've never been on a Zoom with a guy singing to me on a guitar, so I'm just going to sit here and drink my drink and listen.
Have a few drinks.
Awesome.
There you go. So this song is Northern Countryman, and I wrote it in my ice castle along the shore of the Rainy River a couple years ago during the springtime. And I had been laid off from my construction job. And that's kind of what you do when you're blue-collar Minnesota, right? I mean, in construction, you work all summer long, you get laid off, and you go hang out on the ice for the winter. So that's what Northern Countryman is about. Here we go. This man I am, I'll take when I can. That man loaned me, but right now I am free. Laid off, don't work, no long days crawling in dirt. Boots on, no shirt, spend my nights killing my thirst. Long time, moonshine, walleyes on the end of my line. Tied down, can't swim, I'm never doing that again. Ice cold, short pulls, back and forth I'm drilling them holes. Concrete, ice sheets, rattle reels make my heart speed. Up north, Romford, snow lands on the end of my tongue. My house has wheels, I can live on any lakes I feel. And my twang is my thing, let it out in them songs I sang. Up north where I'm from, I'm beating on a different drum. So wet lines, enjoy life, keep fishing till it's working time. I'm getting by how I can, it's a song for a working man. So I'm a northern countryman, a couple dollars in my pocket and a fishing rod in my hand. I'm a northern countryman, I gotta go, never stopping, and a fishing rod in my hand. Ice cubes, full glass, it's my life, you can kiss my ass. No word, I'll play, I'm living my life and I do it my way. Feeder, lines down, I'm watching that Vexlar spin around. No shower, old truck, some folks call me Hobo Chuck. Tackle box, fish slots, my best life is in Crocs with socks. I'm getting by how I can,
It's a song for a working man. So get wild and stay late. It's hard work, but it's our trade. And pour sweat, pour blood, all day long just crawling in mud. Well, I'm a northern countryman. A couple dollars in my pocket and a fishing rod in my hand. I'm a northern countryman. I gotta go, never stopping, and a fishing rod in my hand.
That was awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
I love it.
I've listened to it a lot. Thanks for playing. I just can't believe, honestly, that I was so excited when you agreed to come on, and it's just super great to hear. So thank you.
Thank you. I was excited too. This is great. This is can't be doing concerts, and even if we were, I'd still love to be on because this is right up my alley. Anytime, I'd love to be on the show. So thank you again. One question
Jeff, we haven't asked him yet that we usually ask our guests is, do you remember your first time ice fishing, and what was your experience with that?
You know, I can't remember the first time I went ice fishing. It was a long time ago. You know, I was a kid. I grew up ice fishing. My dad was never really into it, but we went, you know. I got into it once I started to be able to afford my own gear and stuff.
Another thing that we always have every guest share with us is a legend. So we kind of talk about legends, and we used to tell, Jason and I used to tell a lot of stories because we've been ice fishing together for 20 some years. But, you know, eventually we're on episode 41, I think, right now. Yeah. And eventually we're kind of running thin. So we love it when people come on and, you know, come on and be a guest and then share their legend with us. So if you could share an ice fishing legend with us, that would be awesome.
An ice fishing legend is I got a peeing in public ticket from the DNR for peeing on the ice. It was a $120 fine.
How much?
$10 an inch.
$10.
What lake was that on?
Like, wish you knew.
Wish you knew. That's awesome.
No, that's just a joke I love to tell. It never gets old. It always goes over good. But an ice fishing legend, you know, I've been thinking about this question for a while, and I just keep resorting back to Steve Million from Lucky Bait up on the Rainy River. Mm-hmm. I've watched that guy do some pretty crazy things, like drive a half-ton truck with a V-plow and plow a road on the Rainy River. And he's the ice fishing legend for me. He'll never die. Legends never die. Mm-hmm. And he's done some pretty crazy things, and everybody that knew him has a good Steve story. He was open for 24 hours up there, so, you know, guys get off work at 5 o'clock at night and drive up to Lake of the Woods after work and show up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning and get minnows from Steve. I mean, that's legendary, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is the 24 hours. I didn't know that. That's because how many times have we done that same thing? But, you know, there's no bait shops open. They closed at 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how he did it. He was a badass, and always in pajamas, you know, or sweatpants, dress sweats. He calls them, nice looking sweatpants, right?
Dress sweats, yeah.
Okay, so Charlie, if you could, and I think you maybe have already alluded to this. It's not even a lure, but if you could only have one lure to catch a walleye, what would it be? Well, only one presentation you were allowed.
Jig and a minnow.
Jig and a minnow.
So I kept track. Well, this is open water fishing, but from opener until July 1st when they shut down the lake on Mille Lacs, we clicked 1,206 walleyes. The rule in my boat is that if you get it up to where you can see it in the water, you click it on the clicker. So we can say we saw 1,206 walleyes from opener until July 1st.
Wow.
Unbelievable. But there's no fish in the Mille Lacs, right? No
Not
walleye.
a
That's
one.
crazy. I was up there a little bit. I didn't catch 1,000 fish. I can tell you that.
No.
But I wasn't trying hard enough, I'm sure.
Pandemic. I got a lot of fishing in this spring.
Well, Charlie, thanks for being on the show. It was awesome. Thanks for playing a song for us and for sharing the fishing tips and your legend. So
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it again. I'd be willing to come on anytime. I'd be anxious to come on anytime and do this again.
well, that was great having Charlie on the show, and he told us about his fishing and about the way he fishes, and I learned some new stuff about fishing, like the cutting the tail off. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it was great having him on and sharing his legend and experiences with ice fishing. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch up next week.
Tight lines.
Cheers.
You've been listening to the Hard Water Fishing Show with Jeff and Jason.
Say goodbye.
One of the most unique podcasts on the planet, where we talk about tactics, gear, and ice fishing legends. We'll be back soon.
Bye-bye.
Till then, signing off.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.